G'day guys, and welcome back to the next video. In today's video I'm going to be building a new parcel shelf for the back of the VL. You would have seen in the last video I retrimmed the interior quarter window trims with the Calais velour and pieced the back seat back together. You probably noticed that the parcel shelf that was in the car was wrapped in a grey carpet and didn't match. So I'm going to pull that back out and build a new custom parcel shelf and wrap it with some 25i velour, along with some other quick easy wins I've been piecing parts together to get the VL back together. So let's jump inside and take a look. So you might have noticed in the last video as well, I only had this side interior light in. I didn't have one in that side. So I got one of those from my friends down at Commodore Bits at Morisset. If you need anything from VB to VF, be sure to check down there. They've got most things in stock and they're always happy to help out. So along with installing that new interior light, we put LED bulbs in them as well, which at first I thought I would hate because they sort of would be too bright or too white, but I actually quite like the look and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. So for now I'll leave them. I've also put the door trims back in the back. The rear doors now are totally finished. I repositioned and checked and installed the rest of the door molds and got them nice and tight, and then went ahead and tidied up all the wiring inside for the power windows. Made some new plastic sheets to keep all the moisture and stuff from the door from getting on the back of the door trim. So they're now all wired up and complete. It sort of looks like a bit of a car again. I've also tracked down some really nice 25i velour sun visors to put in. I haven't had those in the front for a long time. There's just a crappy vinyl one in there at the moment and nothing on the passenger side. So I'll get those in today as well. I've bought some new blue pinch weld to go around the doors, because the ones that are in it are sort of a green, dirty sort of colour. I have cleaned them and that's sort of as good as they get. So I'm going to replace all of those today as well. Alright, so we've had some small wins on the VL. They were just nice, easy little jobs just to get some motivation up. So what I did today, just to recap, was we got all the interior lights and the courtesy lights in the back working. Replaced all the pinch welds with some blue ones, which are probably a little bit too blue, but they'll do for now. We've installed the sun visors in the front. I'm just still chasing some of the little clips that hold the sun visor in the center. And also the little clothes hanger hooks near the rear grab handles in the back. If anyone's got any, sing out, I'll buy them off you. But now I guess it's time to move on to the main part of this video, and that is to build a new rear parcel shelf. So this is the parcel shelf that I've got to work with. The carpet that it's wrapped in is obviously grey and not blue, and now that I've put the rear Calais moulds in with the blue velour, it looks really out of place, which is a shame because it fits perfect. Whoever made this however many years ago done a really nice job of it. It's got a nice bevel on the back edge which sits really well up against the rear windscreen. And it fits just perfect from left to right and to the back of the seat. It's a really nice fit. It doesn't move. It doesn't rattle around. However, these holes are 180mm diameter circles, which is far too big for a 6.5 inch or even a 6x9. I mean, I could oval the hole out side to side to make a 6x9 fit, but the hole's too wide that way. I'd end up with a little gap front and back. And they also don't line up with the holes in the parcel shelf. So what I'm going to do is rip the cover off this one, trace it up onto a new piece of 16mm MDF and place it in the back solid and mark these circles over the holes in the parcel shelf from the underside. And then I will wrap it with this, it's a replica of 25i VL Calais velour. It's not genuine GM fabric, but it is very, very similar when I put it in the car next to the other pieces. All right, let's get into it. All right, so there's the so far finished product. You just saw me trace it out, cut it with the jigsaw, and then sand off all the edges so they're nice and round. There's no sharp edges. I've done that more so on the top, so we get a nice neat finish on the velour, and I've done it on the underside as well, just to take away the sharp edge when we wrap the foam and the velour around it. All right, next thing to do is throw it in the car, make sure it still fits, and then measure up from the underside to mark the speaker holes. Okay, pretty stoked with that. Fits really well. I've got a couple of mil grip gap right around the edges, which will obviously be taken up by the foam and the velour. So I've just finished marking centre on the underside of the parcel shelf. I've got this point here and this point here. The way I did that was to have it with the parcel shelf fitted where I wanted it. I got it all centred, a couple of mil off the edge all the way around. And then I measured up the width of the hole in the parcel shelf, which was the same diameter as this piece of timber that I've cut out. And then drilled a hole through the middle, slid that up into the underside of the parcel shelf, and then put the texture up through the hole and marked the center point. The diameter of the circle that's cut in the underside of the parcel shelf and this piece of timber is 125mm wide. So with our center point, I only have to accommodate for an 80mm magnet. So I'm going to have about 20mm on either side of the magnet. So once the magnet drops through the hole, I'll have 20mm clearance all the way around. From the underside of the parcel shelf to the from the underside of the MDF parcel shelf to the steel parcel shelf, I've got about 60mm. And we can see here it's only a 73mm drop from the underside of the flange to the bottom of the magnet. So I'm going to have about 15mm of magnet protrude below the hole. So it gives me a little bit of wiggle room with where exactly I want to place the 6x9 the grill, so I can wiggle that forward or backwards a little bit, keeping in mind I do have that clearance around the center of the magnet. So I've now drilled the holes either side from the center mark we made with our jig from the underside. And for those playing at home, if you're looking at doing a parcel shelf, it's about 140mm from the back edge of the board to the hole. That was exactly the same on both sides, so I'm pretty stoked with how my little jig worked. I've gone and extended a parallel line to the back edge on both sides to make sure we get the speakers nice and straight. And I've also punched out the template from the Sony box and put the same lines on that, so I can put that over the top, find dead center, and then cut out the hole exactly in the middle. With the template being so close to the edge of the board here, by the time the grill goes on, it's almost at the edge of the timber. I'm not really worried about that. I could shift the whole thing 10mm to the right, but I don't want that speaker magnet to drop down and hit on the cutout in the parcel shelf, even though I do have a little bit of wiggle room. But anyway, let's get this cut. We'll glue some foam on, wrap it in velour, and see how it looks. There is the finished product. I'm super stoked with it. It's come out so good. First time I've ever trimmed anything, and it actually wasn't too difficult. Just take your time, and you'll get there in the end. The foam wrapping underneath makes it feel really nice and smooth and looks factory and fresh. Nothing left to do now except mount the speakers and chuck it in the car. And here it is in the car, all finished up. Worked out absolutely mint. The speakers fit perfectly over the holes in the grille. The velour, even though it's reproduction 25i, it actually matches pretty darn nice to the rest of the car. It's not out of place at all. Totally stoked with it. So that's how I made a parcel tray for the VL. Did a few other bits and pieces as well. We got those sun visors in. I got my rear doors together. What else did we do? We done the pinch welds. And while I've gotten those few things done, the injector rebuild kit turned up. So I'll be pulling the injectors and fuel rails off shortly, cleaning the injectors up, put it back together, and hopefully it runs. We'll be one step closer to being a car. If you get anything out of these videos, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.